It's a real regime almost.
Oh, hell no.
They're talking about me.
All I needed was one ball.
The science of training.
And I know you don't think it's a sport. How do you feel about bodybuilding rivalries? And I guess, you know, the back and forth talk on social media. Do you feel like, because I hear different points of view. Some people say it's hurting the sport. Some people say it's keeping the sport alive, you know. How do you feel about it? And do you personally ever want to be involved in the back and forth with a competitor before the show?
No, you know, what's funny, Vlad, dude, when I see it, I just can really shake my head because being a fighter, a former boxer, even when we talk trash, we could go in, but we were fighting. I mean, we literally were trying to knock each other out. And when it was over, dude, we shake hands. We go grab a bite to eat. You know, it was, and we tell each other, "Well, I'll get you next time." You know, if however the fight went. Bodybuilding, we're on stage in underwear.
Right, different.
And then if you really break it down, we're being judged by strangers. You know, well, not strangers, but it's a subjective sport. So even you hear the fans, oh, this guy's going to kill this guy on stage. This guy's going to kill. And it's hard for me to take it serious because I'm like, guys, we're in a gym and we're training and we're going to go get on stage and we're going to hit, 7 poses in underwear. And that's it. I mean, we're presenting a physique. So the trash talking where we can't ultimately do anything to the other person, because of where I come from, I can't draw that parallel. So when I see guys doing it, I get it. But for me, as far as the trash talking will ever go, I'll just say, well, I'm going to win. And I think everyone has that same, or they should have that same mentality. And I don't think that's trash talking. That's just saying, hey, I'm putting in the time and the effort like all the other guys, and I'm going to beat them. And then you go and you bring your best on stage. But where I see the guys take shots at each other, it's funny. I mean, it's entertaining when it gets going. So, I mean, I think it has its place, as long as the fans understand, like, hey, when we see each other, man, we're cool. Like, and it's like me and Sergio had words back, not long ago, and me and him text, and I'll comment on his page, and someone even got on there and they said, oh, you new guys. He was an older guy, I guess. He had a private profile. And he said, well, you new guys don't know what loyalty is. Wasn't he just talking shit about you not long ago and so on and so forth? And I said, look, man, this if you understand how sports work, sometimes words can get heated, but that's all that it is. Outside of social media, we actually talk. We're all pro guys. So we'll see each other, we'll chat. And some guys may take it personal, but I don't think that you can if you engage in it. So if a guy is talking about a weak body part of another guy, and then another guy says, oh, well, your waist is bloated, and another guy says, well, your legs are small, or your arms are small, or your back is weak. If you engage in it, I think you just have to deal with whatever comes with it. But I think it has its place, but I don't think it's something that's totally necessary. But I think it is entertaining, and the fans just have to keep in mind, like, hey, we're not trying to physically kill each other. I mean, some guys may actually take it that far if they get mad enough, but I think it has its place. I just don't take it serious.
Can a comment or a word or some kind of video maybe that an athlete sends to you, can that throw off your prep, like mentally, or do you ever let it get you to that point?
If you're truly confident about what you're doing, I don't think it can. Even at the California Pro, I was on stage with Shaban. I love the guy. He's a great guy. And we were hitting some shots, and I noticed he reached over and he kind of like brushed my leg a little bit because he has big legs, and I just kind of didn't even pay attention to it. I just kind of hit the pose and just went on to, I knew I was there to do a job. And it's no different off stage, So on stage, you'll see guys play around and they'll point at a guy if his glutes aren't in, or they'll point at a guy, you know how the guys do. They try to do all that on stage. But if it's social media and someone sends you, they comment or they send you a video, it's kind of like, oh well, man. I mean, you must be concerned about how I'm looking because you took the time out to away from your prep to come comment and engage because that takes time and energy. I mean, if I'm scrolling and I see someone that oh, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and that takes energy for me to do that, no matter how small it is, because once they comment back, I'm going to comment back. And then now we're back and forth and I'm spending energy on that, which it really won't matter come the day of the show, you know? So I think as an athlete, you have to make sure you stay focused as to, because fans can comment, another athlete can comment, and I think you just have to stay focused on what you're doing.
You know what I was just thinking? You know, it's crazy how like Jake Paul, a YouTuber, became a boxer. Can you imagine
Yeah.
if like let's say like internet celebrities start getting into bodybuilding and they like start doing pay-per-view events? Can you imagine? Can you imagine that happening?
Dude, if it, you know what? I really can't put anything past these days.
I know, right?
If it did, Vlad, I would say, oh yeah, I mean, I could have called that. I saw that coming because that's what it is now. It's it's just whatever sells. And I don't know that what's the one guy Cali Muscle, because I think he tried to compete to go forward, and I guess he ultimately stopped. But it's different at the highest level. So becoming an internet personality and competing is one thing, but actually being taken seriously by a lot of these other guys, that's I don't think that's really just the best idea if you don't love it. But people will do a lot to make some money,